me start off this video by saying that I have been super happy with my Nintendo Switch 2. Even as someone who's been a little down on Mario Kart World, it's not the best Mario Kart at all, but I still very much have enjoyed it and put in over hundreds of hours already in that game. Well, like over 140 hours to be exact. Yeah, I played a lot, and that wasn't just for YouTube videos. I genuinely enjoyed a lot of my gameplay session, even though I have a big problem with the intermissions. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is an absolute masterpiece. I have no complaints there. And I am very excited for everything else that's coming out this year. So overall, I'm happy. There's so much stuff that I still have to play that's not even Nintendo based. Like, I'm excited for Pac-Man World and even Sonic Racing. There's so many other games that I'm not even going to mention because the list would go on. I mean, my backlog is like 70 games deep. So why am I so upset with Nintendo right now? It's not really upset, it's just more confused. For the last couple of years, Nintendo has been making some extremely strange decisions, and I mean, we've all felt it. Nintendo Directs don't happen when they are supposed to, it feels like, anymore, and partner showcases are starting to pop up in the place of Nintendo Directs and just skipping Nintendo Directs altogether. But since the start of Switch 2 is where I really started to feel that I don't know, something's happening here. It was really the transition period between Switch 1 and Switch 2, and I know rumors fly everywhere, and we can choose to believe them or not to believe them, but it really did feel like Nintendo was gearing up to reveal and release the Switch 2 a lot earlier than what they did. It's just felt like Nintendo has been holding out on things, like keeping things bottled up super close to their chest and not revealing information to us anymore. And at the very last, most inconvenient time, I feel like they finally just chuck out everything in a big load and then go silent again for multiple months. It's very strange. I mean, you would think Nintendo would learn their lessons with holding information for so long. I mean, look what happened with the Switch 2. They waited so long to reveal the thing. We knew exactly what the Switch 2 was going to look like, feel like, play like, like from the very beginning, just from leaks alone. Every single leak was 100% correct. So much so that when Nintendo revealed the Switch 2, we were just like, yep, that's exactly what we've been seeing for like over a year now from these leakers. It was kind of crazy, and Nintendo could have prevented all of that by just revealing the thing maybe even just a couple of months earlier, but instead they waited until like the last possible second. It was also weird how they revealed the Switch 2. They literally just came out some random Thursday morning and dropped a new trailer on Twitter and on YouTube, which was just strange for a brand new console that everyone's been looking forward to for 8 years. That's how you reveal the thing? And it's no secret that I once again was memed all over the internet for not enjoying the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I mean, for people that enjoyed it, I was like, go ahead, enjoy it. I hope you guys had a blast. But for me, it was pretty lackluster. Outside of Mario Kart and a little bit of Donkey Kong, I really wasn't interested. It's funny because it's like so switched now. Mario Kart looked phenomenal for me at launch, and then now that I played it, it's just very okay. Where Donkey Kong looked very okay on that Nintendo Direct trailer, now that I've played it, Bonanza is literally phenomenal and is going to be hard to beat as one of my favorite Switch 2 games, I can tell you already. But with that said, I was let down by that Nintendo Direct. I felt like two major games, and of course we were already expecting Mario Kart, so one real surprise for me. Kirby was cool, but it was more just like a, hey, we're making this. And Hyrule Warriors, again, just wasn't exciting. And Metroid Prime 4 hardly even got any information in that entire show, where most of the show was just some third-party information, stuff on Switch 1 games coming over with Switch 2 editions, and a bunch of other smaller titles that I just could not care about, like Switch 2 Welcome Tour and Drag and Drive. And a lot of people have been telling me just to be patient, that first Switch 2 Direct was just to get out that first couple of months for Nintendo's brand new console. And I was like, you know what, maybe you're right, you know? We're surely going to have a June or even a July Nintendo Direct where it's going to flesh out the rest of the year, the holiday season, because they absolutely have to. It's the holiday season of your brand new console. They're not going to leave us in the dark. That's where we are now. Let me clarify. I am not upset that there's nothing to play this year. I actually think there's a lot of games coming, and I'm actually pretty excited about every single one of them. It's just the fact that Nintendo isn't talking about any of them. It's like this new strategy they're having where they're keeping things very, very hush, and they're not giving any information on any big upcoming games or anything until it's like a handful of months until it comes out. and I'm not a fan of that. I don't know why Nintendo wants to go with that marketing. Nintendo used to talk about how hype was a big part of their company, how it got people interested in their games, allowed them to do some crazy marketing. I mean, look at Super Mario Odyssey. They revealed the thing in the January 2017 Switch presentation, and the game didn't launch until October. They give us a full year to get excited and hype about the game and talk about it and speculate it. And if you want to be even more technical, Mario Odyssey was teased in the 2016 Switch reveal towards the end of the year. So yeah, it was like a full year of hype getting ready for this thing, and they made it a big deal. They had like a Mario mascot traveling around the globe and stuff and taking pictures, and a big old parade at New York and a big old launch party. There's just like nothing like that happening right now. And that's just the problem. If Nintendo just had release dates for these games coming out and like a release date for another huge title, people would be set. You know, we got stuff to look forward to. Who cares how long it takes? Not that long. But always having something super major to look forward to, a huge future title, is always something that's exciting for Nintendo fans. Like knowing a huge 3D Mario game is coming at the end of the year, or knowing that the next huge Zelda game is in production and we get to see little snippets and bits and pieces as we go throughout the years. I'm not saying, you know, reveal games once again like Metroid Prime 4 is so early that it takes 7 to 8 years for the game to come out and you still don't have a release date. It's just like Nintendo has these games. They're sitting on these games. They know pretty much every one of these games are coming out this year. At least we think they are. They said 2025. So I would think at least almost every single one is going to make this year at the end of the year. So why are they not giving us release dates? Why are they not giving us new trailers or gameplay looks? Why are they making us wait so long? And why are we skipping general Nintendo Direct times? I was told from a lot of people online just to be patient and wait. If they're not having a Nintendo Direct in June, surely they'll have one in July or something. Obviously, July came and went and no general Nintendo Direct. We had a partner showcase though, and it wasn't as big as, once again, people were making it seem like it was going to be. Everybody was like, you know what, it's the first partner direct of a brand new console. Surely we're going to get some big third-party games. This is what the Switch 2 needs. We didn't get that. We've been hearing continuous rumors that all these major AAA third-party games were coming to Nintendo Switch 2 and that developers were so excited for this console that Microsoft had so many games coming to this console. They even said it themselves that they had a lot of things planned for the Nintendo Switch 2, but still nothing big has been announced for the Switch 2. We just sat through a partner showcase, and as there were some pretty cool games, of course, shout out Pac-Man World 2 again, there still wasn't anything to the caliber that people were expecting. I mean, I think we all can admit that. I guess because my question is really why? Why is Nintendo doing this? There's literally no reason for this. Normally, partner directs were used in place of general Nintendo directs when Nintendo either didn't have something to show or there was something going on around the world like COVID in 2020, where they had to get out third-party announcements so desperately because there was no general direct planned. This was a 25-minute show where most of these announcements, if not all of them, could have just been slapped into a general direct, where the other 25 minutes could have been dedicated to first-party games, new information on all the games coming out this year with maybe a couple of surprises. Why couldn't they have done that? Once again, I'm not complaining about the lack of games. I'm complaining about the lack of information of said games. Once again, Kirby has no information behind it. Sakurai came out on Twitter and said development is going smoothly, but he's still hard at work on the game, making it seem like it wasn't even going to be ready for this year, but the game just recently got rated in Saudi Arabia, which means the game is probably right around the corner and 99% complete. Just recently in the partner showcase, Nintendo showed off Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and it had a new cool looking trailer, but still no release date, which is so strange when it's already August right now. Not to mention, it didn't even at least say 2025 at the end, which is starting to lead people to speculate that did it get delayed? Did it slip into 2026 for some reason? But now there's word that apparently Nintendo of Australia uploaded information about the game and said that it would be launching on Switch 2 this spring, and that is for the southern hemisphere. So for everyone in the northern hemisphere, that should mean it would fall within the September to November timeframe, like we were expecting at first. But if that's the case, they couldn't have at least told us the month? Metroid Prime 4, probably one of the biggest Nintendo mystery games of all time. Apparently, it just got rated a couple days ago in South Korea, which should also mean the game is about ready to release as well. We even got word that Splatoon Raiders got new information from a retailer in Malaysia of it coming out in 2025. So what is going on? It's really like one of the most confusing things ever for me. And for this being the first year of their brand new console in just a couple months after launch, you would expect Nintendo to be having general Nintendo Directs, showing fans and even non-fans, casual players, what they can expect with their Switch 2s. I have friends texting me, is there anything else big coming to Switch 2 besides Donkey Kong and Mario Kart? Because there's nothing really slated. These are games that I'm excited about as a die-hard Nintendo fan, but there's not too much that's like the next big Mario or Zelda or something to really draw people in. I think it's going to be Splatoon Raiders. A lot of people disagree with me, and that just tells you right there, because if it's not Splatoon Raiders, then it's nothing. So Nintendo needs to start having some also big game announcements to get people excited for the future, for maybe early 2026. What's a big game that Nintendo's working on to make people say, now that is why I need a Switch 2? I know I bring this up every single video, it feels like, but 2017 truly was just Nintendo firing off on all cylinders, and it is just unmatched with 2025 so far with Nintendo. It feels like a completely different company. Obviously, we have a new leadership there with a new president, and also just things are a lot different now in the state of the world and everything, but still, 2017, they were so rock solid with their media. You know, their marketing was perfect. We knew what was coming out every single month. We had release dates months out. When you were done with a major game and you put it up, you knew exactly what your next game was going to be and what you were going to be playing and when you were going to be playing it. There were no mysteries. You knew the holiday game at the beginning of the year. In January, you knew what that year's holiday game was going to be. Everything was set in stone. Everything was labeled out, and the calendar year was in motion. And I feel like we just don't have that with Nintendo anymore. It's just a big mystery game of what the heck is coming. They reveal a game, it comes out in 2 months, it's out, and it's just a blank slate again. I don't know why this is Nintendo's new decision, and quite frankly, I hate this marketing cycle. And a lot of people now are using the Nintendo Today app as an example of, hey, Nintendo can just reveal these trailers in August on Nintendo Today. That just takes the hype and the fun out of it. You guys do realize not everybody looks at that app, right? I feel like it's only like diehard Nintendo fans that has the Nintendo Today app downloaded on their phone. All of my friends love Nintendo games and play Nintendo. None of them have that smartphone app, and they love Nintendo. So you think the general public has that app and is seeing new information and stuff on that? Yeah, that's going to be posted on Twitter and stuff, which is already like shunned by Nintendo. Yes, if you post trailers or pictures of stuff that they put on their app on Twitter, it will get flagged and taken down because Nintendo doesn't want you to share it. They want you to download that app. That's pretty stupid and pretty scummy. Instead of just having a general direct revealing new trailers and information in a big presentation where people can just hop on YouTube and see it. This is just a dumb marketing decision. Let me say, I don't think they're going to do this, but I mean, could you imagine how annoying it would be for us Metroid fans if we just wake up one day and they're just like, hey, here's a brand new fancy trailer for Metroid Prime 4, but it's on the Nintendo Today app, and like, we want this game to do so well. We want this to reach the masses and get everybody trying this game, and it deserves that proper treatment. And it's not just me feeling this way, it really hit home to me that there's a problem going on where the YouTube channel Kit and Krista posted a video on this. Now, Kit and Krista used to work at Nintendo, and they have now moved on to have their own YouTube channel. They left Nintendo for their reasons, and now they kind of give us some inside scoops and information about how the whole system works at Nintendo. So it's really good to hear information from them, to hear how the, cogs turn at Nintendo. But even Kit, a former Nintendo employee, took to YouTube to say, yeah, things are weird, because normally they agree with Nintendo's decisions and said, yeah, this is normally what they do. Everything's okay. Even when we were waiting for Switch 2, they was like, yeah, it's a little strange, but Nintendo has a plan. It's going to all be good. You know what I mean? Even they had to take the YouTube today and was like, yeah, something's up. This is just different for them. They don't operate like this, so they know something is just off. But of course, now when I talk about these things on Twitter, every single person that told me to be patient in June and just wait for July is now telling me to be patient for something to happen in August. And I'm like, of course, if you keep doing that every single month and pushing it back, of course, something eventually is going to happen. But at this point in time, we're not guaranteed anything from Nintendo. Everybody's like, oh, well, we're going to have to wait for September. Are we even guaranteed that September is going to have a Nintendo Direct this year? I mean, it's already conflicting with the Mario 40th anniversary. So what if they just had a Mario Direct and no General Direct? Or what if they just had a General Direct and no Mario 40th anniversary information? Which either way is going to leave fans kind of upset, especially with this long 3D Mario wait of 8 years. fans probably want both by this time. And with Nintendo skipping Nintendo Directs in like the hottest time of the year being the summer, it really starts to make me worry what Nintendo's plans are actually going to be. Now, this worry could all be subsided easily in a week. They could be like, you know what, general Nintendo Direct to start August. And it's something that just makes too much sense. That's why I still don't think it's going to happen, because I'm just like, man, you got 2 games coming out towards the end of August. If you just start August with a general Nintendo Direct, all things are fixed. I don't think this is going to happen, though. I can see it maybe being a game-specific Direct. Maybe it's a Metroid Prime 4 Direct. But we're not going to get General Direct, I don't think, until September or maybe even later than that, which just stinks. It's not about being patient. It's just the fact that why do we have to wait for September for information on this? And I'm telling you right now, if we have to wait until September for a general Nintendo Direct, we are not getting a big holiday game outside of everything that we know so far, which might be an obvious duh, but for a lot of people, that's no incentive to buy a Switch 2 this holiday. And I know people are very excited for Pokemon Legends ZA, but there's normally always a major first-party game from Nintendo that launches alongside Pokemon as well for people that just straight up aren't Pokemon fans. So yeah, I'm tired of hearing people say, but we have Pokemon. There's always something accompanied with Pokemon. Literally go back in the years and look. It's never just Pokemon running the holiday season. And if it is Splatoon Raiders and that game is way more ambitious than people are planning for it to be, then you need to show off why. Because right now, I feel like I'm the only one in the world that thinks this is possible for a holiday game. Everyone else just shoots me down. It's like, it's a spin-off of Splatoon. Ew. But I just feel like this is going to be just such an amazing, almost open world action-adventure game, third-person shooter that like we've never really had from Nintendo. All story-focused and stuff. That sounds so cool to me. But I can't convince people, it seems. It seems like Nintendo's going to have to do that convincing. And the funny thing about this is Nintendo just had their like 3 months earning, and yeah, they're doing so freaking well, which I'm so happy. Obviously, as a Nintendo fan, this just makes me smile. It's already their fastest selling console of all time by a large margin. I mean, just look at this comparison to the Nintendo Switch 1. It's at 5.82 million hardware sales already, and Nintendo Switch was at 153 million at that time. So Nintendo's sitting there doing extremely well with Switch 2 already, which is awesome, but it's also kind of worrying me because it feels like they're now becoming complacent. They're like, okay, we're where we need to be. We don't need to push things out right now, which I don't know if I like that. And starting tomorrow, Nintendo's hiking up the prices of their past products. For instance, the Switch 1 and its products are all going up in price. The Switch 1 and its products. I didn't say that wrong. That's exactly what you're hearing. Which means later on this year, Nintendo even said that the Switch 2 and its products could be going up in prices as well. This obviously is due to the tariffs that's going on around the world. So yeah, it's just like crazy right now. But like I said, who knows? I'm sure Nintendo does have a grand plan. It's just they really need to start communicating. They need to start just giving us information, things to look forward to. I just can't believe we are in year 1, month 2 technically still, of this console. And already we don't have a release date for the next major game. Yes, there's 2 games coming in August, but I'm so serious. I do not want to hear another person bring up $20 Drag and Drive or a Switch 1, Switch 2 edition game with Kirby. Look, I am super excited for this Switch 2 edition of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. But come on, these are not major game releases. I also thought by now we'd have some type of roadmap for Mario Kart, whether it be DLC, free updates, something. But nope, there's just been no word about this game. It's getting a couple free little updates, but they haven't really changed much. After some time, trying to see if it changed anything with the 3-lap tracks and stuff, it barely changed anything. So yeah, we're also in the dark with that game pretty much. But once again, all things could change very, very soon. Who's to say we're not going to get a gigantic Nintendo Direct in August, followed by a huge Mario 40th Anniversary Direct in September? Which reminds me, we are a month closer already to that Mario 40th Anniversary celebration, probably starting in September, which is about a month away. So I got to talk about that even more here soon. But maybe you know what's going on with Nintendo. If you do, please let me know. Leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo. And like always, I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.